All right. So my name's Jay, also Jason. If you're my mother or my brother, or a member of my family, and I'm here to talk to you about an open source internship alternative called the MLH Fellowship. And I am the president of that fellowship. In a past life, I worked at General Assembly for 7 years in various product roles, in various operations and delivery roles. Many years ago, I was a kind of a startup hacker for a company called Crossover that got acquired by Huddle. And Major League Hacking is, it really spoke to me when I was, thinking about my next career move back in May of 2021. We are the largest community of early career developers, and we ran a study recently seeing that 1 in 3 of all new US programmers are part of the MLH community, meaning that they've attended an event at some point during their collegiate experience. And since 2013, we have been running these, in-person student hacking events where like-minded computer science majors, STEM majors, engineering, anybody who can really write code come together and build something. And it's infectious. It's, community driven. There's prizes. There's a whole bunch of incredible connections and networking that you build. And over time, this network has gotten to be quite large, right? So for any given year, there's hundreds of thousands of participants in our community. And the story of the fellowship actually starts with COVID, right? When the world changed back in March 2020, a number of so many of our student technologists came forward and said, my internship was canceled and we wanted to do something about that. So in May of 2020, we partnered with GitHub to announce what was the MLH Fellowship, this new alternative to open source programming and internships. And it has kind of exploded since then, which is really, really cool. So since then, we've had thousands of contributions to our partner projects. We have hundreds of alumni, a ton of partners, and we are on we call them batches, batch 7 of our fellowship. And what is it? Well, it's a remote, 100% flexible, fully, I said this already, but fully remote open source internship alternative for technologists. We put together fellows from our community with partners that we work with to bring them together through open source. And what we do is a 3-step admissions process to solicit applications and screen people for interests, for coding proficiency. And then with our partners, we scope what is an open source project, focus on a set of deliverables against a timeline. Throughout the program, we provide mentorship through access to these open source maintainers and mentors from the different companies. And we run a variety of live webinars for our fellows too. They apply what they learn to their projects. They work in small groups that we call pods for 12 weeks, participating in regular stand-ups, pair programming sessions, demo days. And the beauty of it is really twofold for the companies we work with. One, they get a increased activity and increased number of contributions to their open source projects of impact and of importance. And then 2, they get access to really what is talent they otherwise wouldn't consider. And I think the kind of icing on the cake is the program pays an educational stipend, right? So fellows that are part of the program, are able to get part of their expenses covered with the stipend that we provide. And the results are really incredible. I have this saying where I say it's only cliche if it's true, but it's really a life-changing experience for our fellows and for a lot of our maintainers too. And we hear this all the time. Our community within the fellowship is really diverse compared to a typical computer science program. In fact, 40% of our community identifies as non-male, compared with 18 in a computer science classroom typically. Like I've said, we've had thousands of contributions to open source projects across React, Homebrew, Flask. The list of companies we work with and we get projects from includes Meta, AWS, GitHub, Solana Labs, G Research, and it's growing. The overwhelming majority of our fellows want to continue contributing. And in terms of highly qualified talent, a lot of our fellows go on to work with the projects and the companies that we are working with. A lot of our fellows are, active students, right? So our typical fellow profile is a 2nd to 4th year computer science student. So some end up going back to school, and others, who are ready to be employed will continue on or definitely engage with, the companies that we work with to see what may be available to them. And, who are we? Who are our fellows? And I see a question in the chat, is it international? It is. In fact, one of our biggest markets is APAC. We get a lot of fellows from Nigeria who apply and are admitted. We get a lot of fellows from Egypt. They're from all walks of life, all different backgrounds. We have bootcamp graduates, we have computer science graduates, we have career switchers, and a variety of different technologies too. Primarily what we see are fellows coming to us with Node, Python, Java, C experience. And, they're working across our various projects, right? So GitHub, Meta, Solana, we have returning fellows. A variety of other companies we work with are not pictured here. And, to kind of tee it off, I know my time is up and I'm so sorry that I couldn't be here earlier. Shoot me an email. I'm just jay@mlh.io. And if you want to learn more, right, if you're a potential company who wants to work with us, or you're interested in the program, fellowship.mlh.io. I will drop it in the chat too. Thank you so much for listening.